Oh, he's not Barnes. He'll never amount to anything.
I can't believe it.
Can't believe it. This pillow's Barnes. I hate you, Barnes. I love you, Barnes. Protect me from the world, Barnes.
Stand back. Pillow's contaminated. Why is there a blinking light on?
He's flashing it. He did that last time, signaler that he was calling.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Well, you are in a ghoulish light. I think I can trust you more.
Yeah.
I never should have rushed you.
Well, this is my phone light.
I wanted you so much.
I'm sorry, I'm such a mess.
Don't
Such an
apologize.
ass mess.
You've been through too much.
Does your shirt change color too? It was always red. Because I thought it was black.
Yeah, I thought it was black
I
too.
can't believe I did that to you.
Could have been the lighting.
It's not your fault. I wanted to be with you.
Cool.
Jane, I don't want to be alone tonight.
All by myself. I got ketchup and I'm all by myself. With a concussion.
I don't know if it'll work again.
I know. It's okay.
I like you with your shirt off.
What? Perv!
Turn on the light. I want to see you.
I look awful.
He just seen you. I look awful. Turn on the light. Duh! Sees Barnes and pee.
Here's the Phantom Demon.
Yeah, where is the Phantom Demon?
Come on. Phantom of point of
Promised
view
us a
is
Phantom
there
Demon now.
inside the house. What inappropriate. Now pour ketchup all over you. Yeah.
Jesus.
What?
Hmm?
I'm gonna take a shower. I'll be over soon, okay? Okay.
Why did she take her shirt off?
You know, sexy.
Credits.
He killed himself. What?
I don't know if I can handle
You're
this.
just gonna address us now in the middle of
Yeah.
the movie?
I totally freaked when I was over at his place. When I felt his weight on top of me.
The demon comes behind him to get behind her to get in the fridge.
They kept flashing back.
I felt his weight on me. I felt like I was gonna be suffocated. He's just so fat. I didn't realize it. That's why I ran away, actually.
Like him before.
It's really funny because I told him he looks good with his shirt off, but the fact is, he's a fucking fat ass.
I hope I can go through with it.
I hope Barnes comes and saves me. Or P. I'd even take P over Frank at this point.
Oh, she put her shirt off again.
Yeah.
Barnes!
Barnes. 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 Barnes.
Barnes. Is he the Phantom Demon?
Yeah.
Barnes is a Phantom Demon.
Who knew?
Is he dead or? Oh, yeah, he's dead. There's blood around him.
Oh, wow.
I think it was one of those two each time.
Yeah, because we kept
or
saying
Frank,
Barnes was
possibly.
the dangerous one.
Yeah. Or you could pick Frank.
Hi.
Yeah.
Maybe the police.
What's keeping you?
It's possible this branch is more
I'm
than
not
the other
thirsty.
thing.
Let me see. I thought you might be naked.
Just wearing pants.
Why did they say Phantom Demon? Like, They didn't have to show you anything.
It wasn't much of anything. What was the Phantom?
You're amazing.
Well,
Turns me
it's
on to excite
probably
you,
just
Frank.
something ambiguous that
No,
you
don't stop.
They imply a Phantom demon did
A
it.
phantom demon, yeah. Okay. You know, you don't have to actually fade in between the branchings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You shouldn't be doing
Borns!
this, Jane.
Jane!
Ha!
Oh!
Jane!
You can transition more smoothly between these things.
Jane!
Showers are dangerous, true.
Okay.
I believe in demons, true.
Yeah.
I believe in ain't true.
Yeah.
People who do bad things aren't evil, they're just sick. No, they're evil.
Yeah, there you
It's okay.
go.
It's okay to use a fetish object for erotic stimulation, right?
Sure.
Power is a measure of force over time, the ability to make others suffer, to be respected at all times, available to intelligent or hardworking persons, necessary in order to be respected. The ability to make others suffer.
Sure.
Be a better person without enemies, money problems, fear, anger. No enemies.
Sure.
My dream life is most often colored by demons or monsters, mundane, fearful personal situations, visions of the future, sexual fantasies. Alright, demons or monsters.
Yeah.
I sometimes injure people without intending to.
Yeah.
Is it wrong to hurt people? It is wrong to hurt people who have not hurt you under any circumstance, who do not deserve it, except when they threaten you. Go who have not hurt you.
Hmm. Oh.
Explore. Okay. Phantom demon? Phantom demon, yeah! Oh! Oh!
It was there the whole time!
Oh, we didn't know there was a phantom demon! The fuck is this? It's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
This game's getting awesome. Okay. Resume. Resume! Barnes is a phantom demon, come on.
You shouldn't be doing this, Jane.
I am a Phantom
Or she's
demon.
rescued by a phantom
What do you
demon
want?
who kills
Yeah.
Barnes.
Oh, I just wanted to see you.
Oh,
Talk
Phantom
to
demon.
Frank's a
Don't be
phantom
afraid,
demon.
okay?
Yeah.
Look, let's go somewhere a little more private. Where? Oh,
Somewhere
just
more
somewhere
private,
where
I
you'd be
can
a
show you
little
the
more
phantom.
comfortable.
And I love ketchup. Hit by a car? Sure.
Oh, now it really happened.
You look scared, Jane. But you don't really have to be afraid of me.
I'm a phantom demon. You don't have to be
I
afraid.
just want to take care of you.
I'd be a phantom.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes, but I...
Oh, Jack. Please, call me Jack.
Jack Phantom Demon.
Sure. I mean, I even killed P for you.
Jack P. Demon, that's what
Don't you think I can take care of myself?
Well, no, Jane, I don't think you can. I think you need me to take care of you.
And be a demon.
Like that guy that's been
And a
following
phantom.
you.
My mom was a phantom.
What do you know about that?
Oh, I know a lot of things, Jane. Anyway,
I've already
you don't
murdered
have to
him.
worry about him anymore.
She'll use her psychic powers against him because he's a phantom.
Well, he's gone for good.
He's gone for
See,
good.
that's what I do. That's what I'm trained for. Just think of me as your own personal security guard.
Seems like a
Your
good
skin's
deal,
so
Jane.
soft.
Go for it.
What did you do to him?
Well, he was a danger to you, Jane.
Jack,
I
do you
mean,
know what happened to Mary?
he made your magazine a mask. A mask! Can you believe that? I
Oh, she
just
made a
sleep
terrible
with it.
mistake.
Fucking loser, am I right, Jane?
She never should have done
Oh.
that. She never should have gone out with him. She betrayed me.
Haha!
Oh,
So he's in love
everybody
with
betray me! I
Don't
fed
you
up
know
with
what I'm
this
talking
world.
about here?
Is he just in love with any
I
of the
loved her.
janitorial staff?
All of the
And
janitorial
she
staff.
loved me.
Yeah.
I could tell.
Oh man.
But she lied
That
to me.
George that worked there first, though.
Some women
He
are terrible
betrayed
that
me
way.
the worst.
Do you understand me?
Yes.
Now put the ketchup
Oh,
on your
but not
skin
you,
or you get the
Jane.
hose again.
I don't get it.
You're like a dream.
More like a nightmare.
I dream, girl.
You're just a phantom demon.
Wow. Really took him a long time to run over there.
Yeah, she's next door.
He just like got outside and then started running in circles. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Hey, please, Burns, let me up. I'm going to help you stay with Jane forever.
Phantom demon, come on, let's get the show on the road.
Come on, Jane. Don't make me kill
Oh, she
ya.
had nail polish on, and he has a foot fetish. That's probably it.
Oh.
I need to get in.
Call the manager.
Say someone's in danger.
Yeah, really. Call the manager, dude. Getting a pizza. Pizza delivery. Oh, dude, come on in. Throw her off the roof. But,
Phantom demon!
why is there phantom demon? We want to know. Better be something. Oh, another tragic fall.
He's running pretty good now.
Yeah.
Crawled my way up.
Crawled because of my head injury. Really hurt my legs. No one fucking cares.
You know, turns
In
out
the
she really did love Barnes the whole time.
Yeah. Time for the music again. All this music's going.
Phantom demon.
Oh, she's gonna trick him. Was that a...
I think it was someone falling. No! He landed in the. He was hailing a taxi when it happened.
Truly, we got the worst ending.
No, Phantom Demon! Was it just supposed to be like he was watching her the whole time? There's no demons in this. I feel cheated.
Yeah. This was supposed to be Point of Demons. And then she throws him off too. Please, do it. Do it! Do it! One of you throw each other off. I don't care.
No, Phantom Ketchup Demon.
I don't care. The Phantom Demon can throw them both off. I just want them off the roof.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very good ending. It just seems like same thing happened again.
Yeah.
She can never trust anyone in her life.
No, she's gonna trust him now because why not?
What happened to his ulterior motives?
Yeah.
He cheated.
We said he had ulterior motives.
Phantom Demon motives.
Do something! No!
Can he look at the camera and his eyes flash red, freeze?
Yeah!
And
he's worse than the cat. Red eyes.
this song, You'll Never Run
She
Far
was
Enough.
the Phantom Demon.
Ah. That song, this seems to be implying that, like, life sucks and it'll never get better. An unidentified man fell to his death last night from the rooftop of an apartment building in Gastown. Police say he was the victim of homicide. Gene Bull, a resident of the building, was arrested and charged with murder. The identity of the man is being withheld by the police. An unnamed source inside the apartment indicated that either the man might have been a police officer or a police officer may be under investigation in connection with the death. Ms. Bull, also known as Jane Williams, was charged with murder less than a year ago in the United States. She had been accused of killing a fashion photographer in his Soho studio. After a lengthy and sensationalized trial, Ms. Bull was acquitted by a jury of all charges. Ms. Bull left New York and returned to native Canada, where she changed her name from Williams and pursued a career as an artist. Friends of Ms. Bull, blah, 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 blah. Ms. Bull is being held under suicide watch. Ms. Bull claims the victim tried to sexually assault her and that she was defending herself. Blah, 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 blah. Eerily similar to New York murder, blah, blah, blah. A friend of Ms. Bull who asked her remain anonymous said, "I know she's innocent, she's just unlucky, that's all. There's something about her that attracts these kinds of men to her, and she's enough of a fighter not to let them have their way. We'll get out of this mess just like the one in New York. You'll see." Okay. You've reached the end of the movie. You will now receive your POV code, which will allow you to view the movie from start to finish, as per your personal profile.
Okay.
I won't save it.
Item 1.
You have congratulations. You have completed a good movie.
All right, we did it. A lot quicker than Never-Ending Care.
The never-ending story porn. Never-ending porny.
Yeah. They can't say no a lot.
Oh, is it saying no?
It's just you're pressing it fast, so it pops up the no symbol.
Okay. Come on, they have these endless codes.
Yeah. Item 9.
Redonkulous.
Q. Don't forget Q. Item 10. So it's just a single one for this one, though. It's not like a double thing. This really was scaled down from the other one.
Well, it's better. Honestly, the other one was a lot of mess with the format.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I don't want to play it. No! I make mistake.
So we're going to watch it again.
Alright, wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Overall,
the best game we have ever played.
No, pros. It was better than Tender Loving Care as far as pacing and not wandering around. There were, I think, more funny moments in it too. Overall,
Mm-hmm.
The cons, there's no John Hurt in it.
No John Hurt. It's a lot less polished than Tender Loving Care.
The production values were a lot better on Tender Loving Care.
Yeah,
that
the
sounds
production
weird to say
values
for
were better.
Yeah.
The exploration, while it got tedious in Tender Loving Care, if it had been utilized properly, it was interesting and could have been done well. And this one was very bare bones, like kind of just you finish the chapter, you kind of look through stuff. It's bland again, but there's not as much vacuous exploration that doesn't lead to much.
Well, I mean, this is it took the opposite approach of Tender Loving Care, whereas there's not really enough interaction with it. You're basically hand-fed what you're supposed to click on, and it really isn't even an interactive movie. It kind of fails on that point, too, because we looked through it to see the alternate endings, and it's really... The whole movie is virtually the same, and it may even be the same. Some of the things that may have been different may not have even been different.
Couple cutaway things, like depending on who you say is more dangerous, they'll be either creepier in the 2-second shots.
Everything else is exactly the same footage. The only big variation is the ending. Except the one that we chose, the Barnes one, was the biggest variation on that ending. Everything else is literally word for word the same scene with a different actor.
Honestly, the Barnes twist is probably the better one anyway, if it was a real movie, just because he's the obvious choice, and obviously he's one of the ones, there'll be the three of them. It'll either be P, Barnes, or the cop. I don't remember his name. And,
I don't either.
Yeah, Barnes killing P like suddenly near the end, and being the main bad guy is a better twist than just being P, because he
Yeah.
knew he was bad.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like, it does not matter who you think the villain is, other than Barnes, actually, because Barnes is not the obvious choice, and he has like a little spiel about taking care of her and like the friend and killing her and stuff. The other guys, they literally do the same dialogue as the other with very little variation.
Yeah.
Like they'll
And
say the
does
same
he-
dialogue, and sometimes they'll throw in something about their own story, but it's the same line for line, other than a little bit.
Did the other ones mention, or like, did P mention why he killed the friend, or just killed her?
I don't remember.
Because I mean, like, Barnes, I remember mentioning it, and it seemed like, because he was crazy, there's
Yeah.
a bit more thing to it, and it's just like, I guess she just got killed.
But it always leads to the same thing. They always, like, when I say it's line for line, shot for shot, it really is the same things reenacted with all of them. They always end up going to the roof. She throws him off, and then she hugs Frank. There's no variation on that, or even the paper at the ending. There's no variation on that. It always leads to the same thing for her. So it's not like she can be evil or Frank can be evil.
And I very quickly skipped through it one more time to try and make her evil before we just look through the footage on the DVD, and no, she doesn't do anything. It ended up being P.
So I
Who
mean,
was the bad guy in that.
In that respect, it was less interactive than Tender Loving Care.
Yeah, well,
because
a lot
Tender
of the
Loving
questions have
Care,
nothing to do with
like Tender Loving Care, at least changed the tone sometimes of the scenes depending on what you picked, so you could change the personalities of the characters somewhat. I mean, sometimes the pieces didn't fit together as well with that, and sometimes it was inconsistent depending on what you picked. But with this, it is always the same thing, so it really does not matter what you pick. The only thing you can really change is how heavily you want to influence who the bad guy is in the end. Everything else, the attitudes, the motivations, anything like that, it doesn't matter what you pick, it's the same.
Yeah, and Tender Loving Care, like, it did have more of the variation on the endings, like quite a bit more, if you could actually get to them.
Yeah.
And the way longer thing near the end where Michael goes to jail, which she would have lost her shit if we'd gotten that, because it goes a lot longer with John Hurt coming in and talking to him. Like, after where ours ended, there's a whole other thing you can get where John Hurt talks to Michael and blah blah blah. They find the bodies and he goes to jail.
So really, I think I'd only watch Point of View if you want to see just a really silly erotic thriller. Like, it's not the best thing. You probably find better ones. There's some funny moments in it, but it's really not worth it as a game.
No, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I
Like,
can't believe I'm saying this, but Tender Loving Care is the better one.
They even talked about on the special featurette how it's like, oh, we're shooting this on digital video, which is so nice and stuff, and it's like, because it does better in low light, so we can just not set up lighting and get it done quicker and cheaper without lighting and stuff. It's like, oh. So the goal for this was apparently just to get it fucking done quick and cheap.
Yeah, I mean, like, because the production values were a lot higher on that. When people interacted with you, you'd have to find them, and there were slight variations on things. In this, the cutaways are always the same. The things you find are always the same. You're hand-fed everything that you get. The answers don't affect anything except who the villain is in the end. And even then, it doesn't matter who the villain is, because the speech is always the same. The ending is always the same. And it really is kind of a crummy ending for it anyway, because it's not like you cared about what happened to Jane anyway. She was pretty reprehensible, and that didn't lead to anything, so it turns out she was just always a reprehensible person.
He was just okay with those pictures, and you can never make him not okay with them. That seems ridiculous.
And the thing about him having an ulterior motive, like, it doesn't seem like there's any point to that. Like, it's kind of like the game's lying to you that you can change more than you can.
Well, yeah, the whole Jane, like, you tell it Jane's the killer, or she's like a killer, or she's mentally unstable and blah blah blah, and it doesn't do anything with it. Just dumps P in there again, and it's like, oh, P was the bad guy. Yeah, duh.
Yeah, it's not. even if you look at it as a movie without it being a game or anything, it's really not that creative of a movie unless you pick the Barnes one. I mean, the cop one, I guess, can kind of come out of nowhere too, but it just seems like unless you go for the really not obvious one, because he didn't even stand out that much except to us because we were just being stupid about it.
Yeah.
like otherwise it's just going to be the really obvious conclusion, and like you know that through the whole thing, so you're not really leading up to anything.
Yeah.
And the phantom demon thing, like, you know,
where'd
it's
that
really
come
poor
from?
wording there, because I think they were just trying to say, you know, like, because you don't know who the villain is at the point, and that's what they meant.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought they meant a phantom demon, and then all the questions were talking about demons and angels and dreams, and if you're evil or if you're just misunderstood or whatever. I thought that was leading to something, and it really didn't. It would have been cool if they had a crazy variance on the ending, because it's not like they didn't have some stupid stuff in the rest of it. So
yeah, no, they really could have gone with some of that. Like, and I don't understand why there wasn't one, you know, where Frank is upset over those pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that would only make sense.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, you took these pictures of me and made weird pictures of us together. It's like, okay, you are mentally unstable, and there's never any choice to make, you know, something happen because of that. It's just, oh, you're really insane. No, that's cool. Let's get together at the end. I guess that's flattering. I don't know. You're completely off your rocker or whatever. And yeah, other than being, you know, reprehensible spy and, you know, crazy, she's also bland as shit.
You know, like, they had more space on the DVD because it wasn't taking forever. They didn't have the little exploration, little cutaway things that you
They
can
didn't
go
even
through
have
the house.
audio for the questions.
Yeah, they didn't have like a host or anything. It really was just a movie that had alternate endings, and that's it. And they had space on the DVD to add more variants. And even if it was just the ending, it would have been great if they had a bunch of crazy endings, because that would have been more interesting. And, you know, if they'd thrown more variant in the rest of the thing, it would have more replay value. But
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like a very ambitious game, considering they spent all that time filming that. We were looking at the special features that they took like 12 days to film the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, which was a really quick shoot, but you still took the time to make a movie for this. You could try to make the concept a little better.
Yeah.
And like they were saying in that too, that the guy who played Barnes had a smaller role and they made it bigger. So that could have even been a tacked on ending. They weren't planning. So was it just supposed to be 2 endings?
Yeah, really.
Because it's so cheapy. And it really was not that high of production values. So, I mean, even as a movie, it's just sort of like cheap. And it doesn't even have any variations on the amount of boobs in it either. Like the other one was more like TNA going on or less.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like the questions were leading to that in this, so it seemed similar. But it really didn't. There's nothing in it except like some paintings.
Yeah.
And that's it. But those don't change. Those are always like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't. There was no. It really was just cheaper and not as ambitious as Tender Loving Care.
Yeah. The only thing Point of View did better was getting to the point quicker.
Yeah, like I would have loved if they. I would have loved if they had like more. They had exploration like in Tender Loving Care, but it was more obvious where you needed to go or you had a clear goal. There wasn't so much inane bullshit you had to go through that didn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. Like I did like there was less reading in this. Truthfully.
Yeah. That was fucking bullshit in Tender Loving Care.
Yeah.
Like, you want to see more video things because, you know, that's what you're playing it for. We don't want to fucking read magazines and, you know, it's pointless shit like, oh, what would Catherine write in her diary today? Oh, I pooped for a really long time. Oh, it was so erotic. Oh, Michael was watching, I think.
Like, it would have been nice if either they made it more like a game, and you explore places and run into people and solve things, so it's more involved with the viewer. Or they made it more like a movie that you could change, like a choose your own adventure book, but with a movie, so you can choose what paths they take. And I realize it takes a lot more space, but you just have certain
That's
points
the difference
that
of
work.
making something good and something just really bare bones. Like, that's
Yeah.
the big flaw of a lot of these kind of things, like these interactive DVD movies, anything like they did with FMVs. They never took advantage of branching them off that much because it was work, I guess. But I mean,
Well, they
it would
could've
be a
found
really
ways-
cool project to do one of those things and actually have it, really change. You get to do more with it, not just, there's a few different endings at the end.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there are ways to have things be alternative to what they are and still have it lead to a similar thing. If you don't want to take up as much space and you're still leading toward a similar goal, you can still have it follow the same path, but have variations and not just, more boobs or more violence or just choosing who the villain is going to be at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
You can
And
have
that's basically
things
all it
be
was at
different.
the end. Like, we choose all these things in this thing, and then it basically just comes down to the question where it's like, who's the most dangerous?
Yeah, it
Because
basically
that's
just
the
leads...
one that makes the difference. That's who ends up being the villain at
Yeah,
the end.
you could literally just go through the whole thing just selecting the first one, not even looking at the questions, and it wouldn't make any difference.
Yeah.
So it's really just making busy work for people who don't have lives.
Yeah.
Like us.
Yeah, no lives.
So if you are interested in watching an interactive DVD that's something that's kind of fun and alternative and has more humor, Tender Loving Care is probably the better choice. You just spread it out, and just realize that the reading does not matter. You can ignore that stuff. Like, just know that you don't have to look through all the inane bullshit to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Point of view might be worth a look, but it's not really much different than what we did here.
It's a little more obscure to find too. I mean, you can still find it, but Tender Loving Care is easier to get anyway.
So, and plus it's got John Hurt, and some of the questions are genuinely funny. So at least the quizzes are pretty funny if you're like with a group, and you could be drinking, make a drinking game out of it or something. But there's not much you can do with Point of View unless you just want to watch kind of a silly romantic thriller or erotic thriller. Not romantic thriller. Oh, trademark. That's Point of View.